Welcome to John's Homespun Thoughts.
What is life about? Life's a bit of a puzzle which needs to be solved, really. And even people who appear to be successful are not immune. They have their crises and have to go to see a shrink or whatever. I'm thinking about sort of John Cleese, John Lennon, or the Johns. I'm someone who does a lot of thinking. Maybe it's bad for me, but I do a lot of thinking and often come up with sort of new ideas, and I want to share them. And in sharing, I hope to elaborate the ideas, build on them. But many of my friends and family, I come up with these bright ideas, and they sort of pour cold water on them as a sort of matter of habit, really. Or perhaps it's because there's an adversarial philosophy all the way through society, from Parliament all the way down to the family. Or say you've got a good question for a website. I had a good question. I wanted to know the connection between like salesman techniques and sort of white magic with the Freemasons. And there was no connection at all, and oh dear, it was seen as such a threat, the question. But if we think of ourselves as part of something, part of the family, part of society, then we can share in other people's bright ideas and their questions, working together for the benefit of all. Here's an example of a bright idea I had. Grow a lot of vegetables and fruit on the allotment, which you can make meals out of for guests who are coming to share a meal. So you can provide a meal quite cheaply, potatoes, obviously, and you share a meal with somebody and then they invite you back and it's all good, especially for sort of an extrovert like me who likes to be invited out for meals. But the typical reaction is, oh, yes, you have the initial enthusiasm and then it all dries up. We've heard it all before, John. But if they said something like, if they picked up the ball and ran with it, said something like, oh, that's a good idea. If you grow aubergines, we could have Turkish moussaka, or grow a lot of marrows and we can have ratatouille. Give a little bit of encouragement and things start to happen. That's what I look for. And that's what we should also give as well, I suppose. The culture of pouring cold water on other people's ideas is partly because of, our adversarial society, but it's also because it's seen as a bit of a threat to someone's routine. As we go through life, we sort out a way of doing things. And if that becomes threatened, people want to stop that. Also, I think other people don't really want you to be too successful, because if you become too successful, the status quo is altered in the family or in society. People want to think, oh, I'm better than him, but not quite so good as him. But, and they don't want that to change. If we allow other people to share in our ideas and they allow us to share in their ideas, then it's a win-win situation. We can all win. We can be happy when someone else is successful. We can share in their success. They're successful, we're successful. And perhaps as time goes by, life may even make more sense.